Okay, so this is the last day of section 10.3. I want to cover these last, it's just cross multiplication problems, but they're with radicals. They introduce all these new ideas with something that we've done before. So I'm going to say 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2 is equal to 4 over w. I'm going to solve this for w. Well, this looks like a proportion, and that's good. Let's cross multiply. Let's take 4 times 2 and get 8. And w times that, and get w times that. So here's how I'm going to write this. I'm going to write this as 8 equals 1 plus root 5. I'm not even going to multiply it out, times w. Okay, so 4 times 2 is 8. 1 plus root 5 times w is that times w. And the reason I'm doing this is to solve for w, I'm going to divide by 1 plus root 5. I'm just going to cancel it out. So if I distributed that, that'd be a little bit of a mess. I'd have to factor it, and there's just no point in doing that. Okay, so now I've solved for w, and I'm going to move the w over here just for ease of use. These canceled out, so I have 8 over 1 plus root 5. Now I have a root in my denominator, but it's part of a binomial. So if it's part of a binomial, I need to multiply by the conjugate. I need to change that sign. I know we didn't use that word very often, and we're not going to worry about it too much here. But if I want to get rid of a radical in my denominator, I need to change the sign and multiply by that. So 1 minus root 5, 1 minus root 5. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to use the grid. If you remember, if you just take what's underneath, well, never mind. Let's just go ahead and do it. So 1 plus root 5, 1 minus root 5. And if you multiply all this out, this will be 1. This will be negative 5 because a root times a root is just a number. This is root 5. This is negative root 5, and those will cancel. When you multiply by the conjugate, those will always cancel. So you can almost do that in your head. Okay? You can say, well, that's going to be 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. And that's going to be negative 5 because root 5 times negative root 5 is negative 5. So 1 minus 5 gives me negative 4. Okay, in the numerator, 8 minus 8 root 5. I went ahead and did the distributive property there. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times root 5 is 8 root 5. Now, in a fraction like this, I have 3 terms. I have 2 terms in the numerator and 1 term in the denominator. And this will actually divide evenly. You can divide both of these by negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to reduce everything by a factor of negative 4, and that will make my denominator totally go away. Okay? So 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 is plus 2. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is just 1. So I'm not going to put the denominator there. Everything divides out evenly there. So that is my final answer for that one. Negative 2 plus 2 root 5. And this is my usual notation for doing this. I'll put a whole number out front and then a radical after it. That's what I will usually do when I write those out. Okay, I have a try it for you. It's on the other side. Let me flip this over. The try here is actually the first problem in your homework. So if you go ahead and set up your homework, that's fine. Your try is number 38 in the book. So go ahead and try that out. Basically set it up the same way I just did it. Go ahead.